Hello everyone and welcome to the fifth match in round 3 of the 2019 season of TVJ's Junior Schools Challenge Quiz. It's St. Hugh's Preparatory from St. Andrew up against Mount Airy All-Age from Westmoreland. I'm your host, Sheldon Reed, and the action begins right now. So let's jump right in. In Section 1, teams will be asked questions alternately, having 10 seconds to answer. Each correct answer is worth 1 point. Earlier, we had the toss, and Mount Airy All-Age won. They decided that St. Hugh's Prep should play first. So, St. Hugh's Prep, with 4 minutes on the clock, we begin with Bible knowledge. In the book of Daniel, what name was given to the Hebrew boy Hananiah after he was held captive by the Babylonians?
Tatashar.
Incorrect. Shadrach. Bible knowledge to Mount Airy All-Age. In the book of Daniel, which Hebrew boy was given the name Belteshazzar after he was held captive by the Babylonians?
Daniel.
Correct. Science to St. Hugh's. Which is the most essential gas used in the body cells to release energy?
Oxygen. Oxygen.
Correct. Science to Mount Airy. Oxygen and nutrients are transported to body cells and carbon dioxide is removed by which system of the body?
Respiratory.
Incorrect. The circulatory system. International affairs. This is a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify which country's national flag is displayed to St. Hugh's Prep.
Chile. Chile.
Correct. International affairs to Mount Airy All-Age. This is also a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify which country's national flag is displayed.
Costa Rica. Costa Rica.
Correct. English language to St. Hugh's Prep. Give an 8-letter verb starting with P, which means to overhang or stick out.
Protrude. Protrude.
Incorrect. Protrude. English language to Mount Airy All-Age. Please give a 5-letter adjective starting with S, which means having the know-how or understanding.
Sultry.
Incorrect. Savvy. Television to St. Hugh's Prep. This is a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify this actress.
Sophia Carson. Sophia Carson.
Correct. Television to Mount Airy. This is also a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify this actress.
Dove Cameron.
Incorrect. Brenda Song. St. Hugh's, general knowledge. The Aztecs were original natives of which country?
Mexico.
Correct. Mount Airy, general knowledge. The Boers were descendants of indigenous people who settled in which African country?
Ghana.
Incorrect. South Africa. Social studies to St. Hugh's Prep. Complete this statement correctly by inserting the year. The West Indies Federation was established in
1958. 1958.
Correct. Social studies to Mount Airy All-Age. Complete the statement correctly by inserting the year. The West Indies Federation was dissolved in
1961.
Incorrect. 1962. St. Hugh's Prep. Music. Which Jamaican recorded the single Iron Lion Zion?
Marley. Bob Marley. Bob Marley.
Correct. Music to Mount Airy All-Age. Which Jamaican recorded the single Skankin' Sweet?
Chronics. Chronics.
Correct. St. Hugh's, mathematics. What is the sum of 12.45 and 129.77?
142.22. 142.22.
Correct. Mathematics to Mount Airy All-Age. What is the sum of 23.87 and 138.34?
62.21.
Repeat.
62.21.
Incorrect. 162.21. And that is the bell signifying the end of the first round. The scores are St. Hugh's Preparatory on 7 points and Mount Airy All Age on 3 points. Before we go to the break, here's a friendly tip from NCB Insurance. And the tip is, make sure you stay hydrated throughout the day. Drink lots of water to keep your energy levels high. Please stay with us. This match in the 2019 season of TVJ's Junior Schools Challenge Quiz continues after these messages. Welcome back to the fifth match in round 3 of the 2019 season of TVJ's Junior Schools Challenge Quiz. The scores currently have St. Hugh's Prep on 7 points and Mount Airy All Age on 3 points. It's now time for Section 2, the Junior Challenge Face-Off. In this section, teams will face off against each other in the categories of science, math, English language, and social studies. Our first face-off will be between Jace Jarrett of St. Hugh's Prep and the captain of Mount Airy All Age, Amika Scott. So Jace, these questions are for you. What is the mean average of 11.7, 12.7, and 14.9? The question passes. Amika, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. 13.1.
Repeat for me.
13.1.
Correct. Jace, what is the difference between 17 squared and 15 squared?
64.
Correct. What is the sum of 3 over 4, 1 and 3 over 4, and 3 over 8? Sorry, the bell came first. The question passes. Amika, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. 3 and 7 over 8.
Incorrect. 2 and 7 over 8. Jace, what is the difference between 20,000 and 2,089?
$17911.
Correct. Your final question. What is the product of 446 and 9? Question passes. Amika, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. 4014.
Correct. And Amika, we're still with you for your set of questions. What is the mean average of 15.5, 17.9, and 18.5?
One 7.3.
Correct. What is the difference between 18 squared and 15 squared?
$69.
Incorrect. Jace, would you like to answer?
Yes, please. 99.
Correct. Amika, what is 3 and 3 over 4 minus 3 over 8?
Three and 1 over 8.
Incorrect. Jace?
Yes, please. 3 and 3 over 8.
Correct. Amika, what is the difference between 19,000 and 3,187?
15813.
Correct. And your final question, what is the product of 567 and 8?
4536.
Correct. And that brings us to our second face-off in science. This will be between Tiana Warren of St. Hugh's Prep and Amy Chai Chang of Mount Airy All Age. Tiana, what word is used to describe what someone feels or expresses that indicates the presence of a disease?
Symptoms.
Correct. Complete the statement correctly. The part of a flower covered in a sticky substance which traps pollen grain is called the...
Stigma.
Correct. In which stage of an insect's development is it dormant inside a protective cocoon?
Chrysalis.
Correct. What is the outer and thinner of the two bones between the knee and the ankle? Question passes. Amy, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. Fibula.
Correct. And your final question, Tiana? Which specific part of a flower contains the pollen sacs?
The anther.
Correct. Amy, we're over to you. Grains and ground provisions belong to which food group?
Legumes.
Incorrect. Tiana, would you like to try?
Yes, please. Staples.
Correct. Amy, complete the statement correctly. The stalk of the anther of the flower is called the...
Filament.
Correct. What are the 4 stages of a butterfly in the order they occur?
Egg, larva, pupa, adult.
Correct. What is the name of the larger of the 2 bones in the lower arm of humans?
Ulna.
Correct. And your final question. Which part of a flower raises the stigma away from the ovaries?
Style.
Correct. So that is the end of our second face-off. We move into our third face-off of English language. This will be between Jessica Williams of St. Hugh's Prep and Ariel Ann Douglas of Mount Airy College. Jessica, form an adjective from sugar.
Sugary.
Correct. Spell the word poignant, which means emotional or moving.
Poignant.
Correct. Complete the proverb. Enel fortune knocks at every...
Man's door.
Correct. Spell the homonyms, which mean a part of a play or film, and the past participle of the verb see.
SCENE and SEEN.
Correct. Your final question. Does the word synopsis mean the total copy of a book, a brief summary of a book, or significant excerpts from a book?
A brief summary of a book.
Correct. And we'll move over to Ariane for your questions. Jessica, you got 5 out of 5. Form an adjective from select.
Selective.
Correct. Spell the word heist, which means a robbery or theft.
HEIST.
Correct. Complete the simile. As alike as.
2 peas in a pod.
Correct. Spell the homonyms, which mean a traveling show with games and the money a passenger pays on public transportation.
FAIR and FARE.
Correct. Does the word senile mean absent-minded, brilliant, or sensitive?
Absent-minded.
Correct. And 5 out of 5 for you, Ariel Ann. We move into our final face-off of social studies. This will be between Aliana Freeman, the captain of St. Hugh's Prep, and Anderson Mackenzie of Mount Airy College. Aliana, the water lily is a national flower of which CARICOM country?
Belize.
Incorrect. Anderson, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. Guyana.
Correct. Aliana, Bogwalk, Ewerton, and Linstead are towns in which Jamaican parish?
St. Catherine.
Correct. In what year did Hurricane Dean affect the Caribbean?
2004.
Incorrect. Anderson, would you like to try?
2007.
Correct. Why is the sea usually warmer than the land during the night? Aliana?
Because the sun's rays go under water in the night or pass over it.
Incorrect. Anderson, would you like to try?
Oh, thank you.
The sea holds its heat longer than the land, and the temperature of the water takes longer to cool than the land. Final question, Aliana. How is the atmosphere held in place around the Earth?
The gases.
Incorrect. Anderson?
Oh, thank you.
By gravity. And Anderson, still with you. What is the national bird of Guyana?
Watson.
Correct. Claremont, Discovery Bay, and Brownstown are towns in which Jamaican parish?
St. Anne.
Correct. Which hurricane caused the most damage in Jamaica in 2004?
Ivan.
Correct. Why are the northeast trade winds in the Caribbean known as the prevailing winds?
Because they prevail through the year.
Judges? Accepted. Correct. And your final question? Or weather is concentrated mainly within which layer of the atmosphere?
Troposphere.
Correct. And that is 5 out of 5 for Anderson. So that is the end of our final face-off and the end of section 2. The scores currently have St. Hugh's Prep on 22 points and Mount Airy All-Age on 24 points. Please stay with us. We'll wrap things up in the final challenge after these messages. Welcome back. You are watching the 5th match in round 3 of the 2019 season of TVJ's Junior Schools Challenge Quiz. The scores currently have St. Hugh's Prep on 22 points and Mount Airy All-Age on 24 points. So it's now time for section 3, the final challenge. In this section, questions will be thrown open to both teams, with the first team buzzing in, earning the right to answer after being identified. Teams will earn 2 points for each correct answer, but lose 2 for each incorrect answer, or if they answer before being identified. So teams with 4 minutes on the clock. We begin with international affairs. This is a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify which country's flag is displayed. Mount Airy.
Armenia.
Incorrect. Thailand. Sports. Which Central American country's national football team is known as La Sede? St. Hughes?
Brazil.
Incorrect. Costa Rica. Bible knowledge. How many chapters are there in the book of Proverbs? Mount Airy?
100.
In the Bible, incorrect. 31. Science. Curved, shiny surfaces reflect light to produce either an enlarged or smaller image. What determines the size of the image? The way the surface curves. English language. Spell the word phlegm, which is the liquid produced by the mucous membrane in humans. P-H-L-E-G-M. Music. Which gospel artist recorded the single entitled You Know My Name? Mount Airy.
Tasha Cobbs. Tasha Cobbs.
Correct. General knowledge. What is the highest and most supreme law in Jamaica to which all other laws are subject? St. Hughes.
Constitution. Constitution.
Correct. Television. This is a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify this person. Toby Maguire. Mathematics. When you subtract 24.38 from 453.94, what is the result? Mount Airy.
429.56.
Correct. Social studies. Sherpa Tenzing Norgay was one of the first 2 persons to successfully climb Mount Everest. Who was the other person? Edmund Hillary. Television. In the animated series The Simpsons, who is the middle child who is said to be the most intelligent of the family?
Lisa.
St. Hughes.
Lisa. Lisa.
Correct. Sports. This is a visual question. Please look at the monitor and identify this person. Mount Airy.
Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling.
Professional footballer. Correct. Bible knowledge. In the Bible, which woman was said to have 7 devils? Mount Airy.
Mary. Mary.
Cast out of her. Incomplete. It's Mary Magdalene. Science. What is the name for materials which transmits or allows some light to... Mount Airy.
Translucent. Translucent.
To go through and scatter some in all directions so the object looks blurred. Correct. English language. Give one word meaning the sound of a bell and... Mount Airy.
Chime.
And a piece of jewelry usually worn on the finger, incorrect. Ring. Music. Which gospel artist recorded the song entitled Made a Way? Travis Green. General knowledge. Carnival, celebrity, Viking, and Norwegian are all names associated with what specific tourism-related sector? Cruise shipping. Local affairs. Which tertiary institution in Jamaica was affected by a 12-day strike by Mount Airy?
University of Technology.
University of Technology.
By academic staff from late October to early November 2019. Correct. Mathematics. And that is the bell signifying the end of this round and the end of today's match. That was a very close match played by both schools. And the final scores now are St. Hugh's Prep on 24 points and Mount Airy All-Age on 26 points. So congratulations to Mount Airy All-Age and a very well played and close match played by St. Hugh's Prep. Please stay with us. We'll wrap things up after this. Welcome back. Mount Airy All-Age is our winner. And in the true spirit of TVJ's Junior Schools Challenge quiz, we invite the captains of both teams to shake hands. So captains. So again, the final scores are Mount Airy All-Age at 26 points and St. Hugh's Preparatory at 24 points. Mount Airy All-Age will now advance to the quarterfinals of the competition. But before we go, here's a special thanks to the teachers who have worked hard with our teams. From Mount Airy All-Age, we'd like to thank Keen Johnson and Mark Taylor. While from St. Hugh's Preparatory, we'd like to thank Terry Ann Harrison and Kadeen Spence. We'd also like to acknowledge our judges for this evening's match, Dr. Margaret Bailey and Miss Dorothy McFarlane. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. for the 6th match in round 3, when Seaview Gardens Primary faces Catherine Hall Primary. See you then.